Hello everyone. So if you're a fan or follower of Jaggi boy aka Sadhguru, then this is a video for you. Let's take a look at his real view on feminism and women, and followed by some pseudoscience, pseudo logic that he tries to sell by fooling people.
The onus of dressing right and being right is always on the girl, especially when events
Because she's getting the attention. Nobody cares how the boy is dressed. But people are looking at how the girl is dressed because she's getting the attention.
So is it a package that because she gets the attention she has to be…
Yeah, she has to dress well because she has to be pleasant to our eyes because we're looking at her. Isn't it? Isn't it important if a lot of people are coming to see this wall, the wall is well painted?
What is comparing women to wall? Come on, you have heard women like you need to dress up so that you're pleasing to Sadhguru's eyes. And your object, your like wall is looking at you and you need to have pleasing decorations. Why he wants that?
Our roots ingrained in yoga and spirituality. But where has it got us as a nation, as a country, as a continent? What has it given us? Like, I know what you say about karma bondage, and I will quote you. No, I quote you. If somebody, he says about…
The subtle laugh, man, it's creepy that he knows the terms.
It would wear out, we would put a leather patch and this and that. But now people are buying pants which are torn, all right? Paying more for the tear, you also…
He is… what is he doing to Kangana?
Fix your leg. Don't go after that person's leg. Fix your leg and go your way. I understand that sounds fantastic, but if somebody breaks your leg and you go your way, somebody again comes, break your leg, what do you do? And then
Why do you
others
think
see…
people are so much interested in your legs?
No, Sadhguru, you're literally taking it.
Oh, come on. He's completely off the topic and she's asking something else and he's going into perverted behavior. Like, and the entire people, the audience are laughing and clapping.
A physical form, in essence, means a certain defined boundary. You call this a physical body because this is a defined boundary. If there is no defined boundary, this cannot be physical. So when we said yoga, this union that you're… inclusiveness you're poking at me is essential.
There you go, again.
Speaking a very youthful language, you'll see a very different Sadhguru.
I know, you can… I know,
because I will dress differently, speak differently, do everything differently with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm very youthful.
So…
Now we know what you mean by that, and the way you were commenting, way you were expressing your views on feminism and women, I think people need to be careful with them around. And it doesn't get stopped over here. It gets creepier. It has always been creepy. So there is this biography of Jaggi boy, Sadhguru, written by Arundhati Subramaniam, and in that there's a text that comes. He says like when he was in class 1, which is like 6 years old, he innocently asked his teacher why she was wearing red underwear. She freaked out. Yeah, of course. And the statement continues, I mean, and no doubt it's an understatement. So he has been creepy ever since. And further down in the same page, he says he has got heightened sense of smell perception. And once in his male friend's room, he asked, "Hey man, who's the girl in there?" It was a spontaneous question, it seems. And obviously there was no trace of anybody else there, there was no perfume, but somehow Jaggi boy could sniff it out like there was another woman. And his friend replied his sister was visiting and she was in the bathroom. and he gives a laugh. He got all worked up just because I had smelt the sister, laughs Sadhguru. So, enlightened person, people, we have heard, they have many superpowers. Some can heal cancer or some diseases and all that, turn water into wine and things like that. Now, our Jaggi boy's enlightened power is super smell. He can sniff out females.
Today, in the name of feminism, unfortunately, a whole lot of women are desperately trying to be like men. This is all about how I earned a few dollars more than another man.
You are understood? No, you do not clearly understand feminism. Jaggi only knows what is feminism because it's only earning $1 more, than a man. That's what feminism is. Because he has done inner engineering and he knows the different dimensions of life, energy flows, dimensions, profoundness of life and all that. And maybe equality, opportunity, rights, and without being oppressed and suppressed, these things, no, they are not in feminism. But now let's look at some of his pseudoscience stuffs, like Jaggi Boy's science and logic, and the way he tries to prove his points with some outrageous claims and funny logic.
There's a North Pole and a South Pole. This means these are the magnetic centers. And you also know the whole land masses, whole continents have been slowly being pulled towards the north. They've been traveling. You know this? The whole Indian subcontinent is crashing into the Central Asian plate. And this is why the Himalayan mountains are still continuing to grow, because the magnetic pull of the North Pole is slowly pulling all the land masses upward.
No, this is crap written all over it. The land masses doesn't move because of the magnetic pull. The magnetic pull of the earth is so faint, and that is not the point here. The land masses move because of something called plate tectonics. You have the earth and you have the core inside, which is hot, and you have the kinetic convectional heat, which is building up the pressure and moving things from inside. So that's why you got volcanoes, that's why you got the continental plates moving around, and it's not because of magnetic pull.
So if iron is floating around in your blood, and if I put a very powerful magnet to the top of your head, it is possible that slowly blood may start moving in that direction, isn't it?
No. No. The iron in our blood is in a different isotopic form, and it's not magnetic. It doesn't get attracted to magnet. Even when you go under an MRI machine, which is like, it's 30,000 times stronger magnetic power than the Earth's faintest magnet, and nothing happens. They just tell you to remove your keys, or you have any ferromagnetic object, just keep it outside and go.
So now you were like this, now you went like this. Already there is a little bit of imbalance in the system, because heart was pumping, calculating the gravitational resistance. Now suddenly there's no gravitational resistance, you became like this, and now you put your head towards the north. Slowly, it gets pulled towards your brain. So one thing that could happen to you is you could have disturbed sleep. If you put your head to the north and sleep, you could have disturbed sleep, all kinds of dreams happening. If you are in your old age, it is possible that you can have a stroke, or you could just die in your sleep.
Fiction, right? A lot of fantasy stuff story. So he tells, when you're like this and now you go suddenly like this flat, and your heart forgets calculating gravitational resistance and pumping blood. Uh, by that logic, Jaggi boy, you are most of the time flat when you are a baby, a kid. So your body is intelligent enough to calculate pumping blood, factoring in the gravitational pressure, right? And if at all, okay, but I'm lying down on flat and my head is in the north. We saw already there's no magnetic pull, and the iron in the blood is not magnetic to get pulled, and it gets, he says, it gets to your head, and you will have disturbed sleep and dreams, nightmares. One thing is, dreams happen every day, right? Every night you sleep, or whenever you sleep dreams happen. That's part of the dream. That makes you healthy, your brain healthy. And some dreams we do remember, but every day, every night we have dreams. And continuing with the same pseudo logic, if we say your blood gets all attracted and moved towards your head, if you're keeping your head towards the north, now if I keep it in the south, my blood should get pulled and attracted towards my leg, and I should feel dizzy, and again I should have problems sleeping. Okay, the second case scenario is, let's say I'm not keeping my head in the north, but there's my neighbor who's having his house a little bit away from in the northern direction. Or say I'm in Madurai and my friend is in Bangalore or Delhi. In whatever direction he keeps his head, he's closer to the North Pole. So he's already affected by that logic. Right? Come on. Like when you're trying to say fake stuff, superstition stuff, like it's outright, it's on its own, it gets bursted out.
So in case you go to South America, then you should not put your head to the south. If you went to Australia, you should not put your head to the south. You can put it to the north, out there.
Well, Sadhguru is trying to be scientific. So he's following his own logic. If you're in the south, then South Pole attracts. So you should not put your head towards the south. Wait a minute. The land masses he was talking about, which was moving, the Indian plate, for instance, when it before crashed into the Eurasian plate, it was well in the southern hemisphere near the South Pole. At that time, the South Pole magnetic power should have been pulling it towards the south, but still it came up through the equator into the northern hemisphere and crashed into the Eurasian plate. Another interesting scenario is, what if I'm at the North Pole? I should be hanging down and sleeping upside down like a bat. What if I'm in the South Pole? It's a tricky situation. Again, I need to be hanging down like a bat. Come on. Like science is flabbergasted by your logic.
Wondering, how can I decrease my hours of sleep? How can I improve my sleep quality?
See, sleep is not a requirement in one's life. What the body requires is rest.
Who are these people? Why are they asking questions like, why do you want to reduce your sleep quota? And he says, sleep is not required for my life. Sleep is not a necessity. He's stoned. He's well stoned. And sleep is not for only your body to get rest, it's for your brain to get replenished. It's for certain activities that happen in your brain which is very necessary.
How to increase the quality of sleep? Don't try to increase the quality of sleep. The ideal way to live is, there is no sleep in my life.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep, he just roams around without sleeping at all. I think that's where this logic and this scientific ideas come from, because he's not sleeping and he's just thinking very different dimensions, deeper dimensions of life.
So body is never ever asking for sleep, but it is definitely asking for rest.
I mean, what is this?
So if you enhance the quality of your life, naturally sleep quota will go down. If the quality of your life goes bad, you can't do anything with ease, then also you cannot sleep, but stressfully you cannot sleep.
Misleading people by telling, sleep is not necessary, and you get it, it's just so blatantly wrong, fooling people and giving dangerous ideas. Sleep is there for a reason. There is already well-established scientific evidences and proofs, and so that recommendations are given by professionals, doctors and scientists. You need to have minimum hours of sleep. It could be like 7-8 hours minimum, or some people could need more. And there's something called REM cycles, REM, rapid eye movement, and it happens when you're sleeping roughly around 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So you need like 3-4 REM cycles minimum, and that's when you get the dreams, during the rapid eye movement, which is like for a brief moment of time during the entire cycle. And you cannot wake anybody up. Your eyes are like fluttering, rapid eye movement. And the entire sleep circle has its own functions for the brain, resting for brain and the body as a whole. And if you're not sleeping for the minimum recommended hours, your body automatically asks for sleep. Like you might be pushing through 1 or 2 days, then you want to sleep more. Second thing is, if you're continuously not sleeping for enough hours, taking into account of like scamming, fake like claims like this, your brain will start operating at a suboptimal level. Means you can not think straight, not thinking well, you can go into depression, result of that obesity, and you will start hallucinating also. Maybe that's what is happening to Isha followers. They're not sleeping enough and they start hallucinating as though they are in the path of enlightenment.
So here, the moon is on fast forward today. All the 28 days, all the 28 phases of the moon you see right here. Everything that happens in a month, in a subtle way, is happening right here.
Lunar eclipse is completely different from the phases of the moon. Lunar eclipse is Earth's shadow falling on the moon for a brief amount of time, and the phases of the moon, it's like 28 days from the entire cycle, new moon to full moon to new moon, and both are completely unrelated.
Food is your body.
No. Food is your body. No, food is fuel to my body. Why does he say food is your body? Is it cannibalistic?
So when I say food, the food, particularly the cooked food, will go through the phases of its deterioration much, much more rapidly in a subtle way than it does on a normal day. We thought we'll do a little experiment. Do we have food? We're going to bring some food, don't hang your tongues out. This is not for eating. This is just to show you how quickly it's going bad, right here as we sit.
Cringe, boomer comedy. Now, he says food deteriorates faster during lunar eclipse, and we just saw how badly he combines two separate phenomena to sell his fake propaganda, like the food spoils faster in a lunar eclipse.
என்ன சாப்பாடு நல்லாவே இருக்குது, சாப்பிட்டுடலாமா? இன்னும் நல்லாவே இருக்குது. So right now it's still okay. You watch this in the next 1.5 hours. See how quiet it has become now? Let's see what's happening to the sambar. It's important, isn't it? You see this? Are you able to see this? Actively going negative. See, we told you not to eat.
What he tries to do is, in order to prove his point, he has got a sample of food and he uses the Rudraksha to show, see, it's rotating clockwise, so it is positive pranic energy or something, and the food is fresh. Let's try it out, let's experiment it out. Now, I got this Rudraksha Mala which I bought it from Isha website, and the thing is, yeah, because you need to buy their authentic ones to try, right, if they are claiming. And this is costing around 2,000 rupees, and when you check on Amazon, it's just 185 rupees on Amazon. Here it's 2,000 rupees. Why is that? Because yeah, it's special. It's Jaggi boy's consecrated Rudraksha Mala. Okay. Before that, I forgot to mention, you have certain instructions that to be followed if you're using the Rudraksha. Like, you need to soak it in ghee for 24 hours, then again in the full fat milk for another 24 hours, and you need to be wearing it for some time. Yeah, I wore it, and it's all good. As per instructions, it's all good. To try it out. Freshly cooked food, we call it dal khichdi or arisi paruppu sadam, whatever you want to call, and it's so fresh, straight out of the cooker. I'm still in the cooker, straight out of the stove. So I'm keeping it here, you can see. Right. Now let's see what the Rudraksha does. Now it's mildly shaking because of the ideomotor effect comes from my finger. And it's supposed to be fresh food, right? Now, oh, Jaggi boy, it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. But my food is fresh. Why it is showing a negative pranic energy? Oh. Now it is rotating in clockwise direction. Positive. I think I can do anything with my fingers and make it to rotate in the direction I want to. And that's what you did. Jaggi boy, you're outrightly fooling people by saying this rotates by itself. Now it rotates through the movement of my finger, and I can rotate it the way I want to. The gimmick tricky place, you can move the direction that you want to, slightly. Nobody would even notice because of small subtle energy over the long length of the Rudraksha Mala. If you're still not convinced, this is a very, very trivial thing. A school kid will look at it and figure it out. It's still not, like, what you can do is you hang it somewhere. Don't use your fingers or something, and see. It will just stay. It won't rotate because you're not giving the momentum in the direction you want to, or whichever direction. It will just stay. You hang it somewhere, not using your hand. You can replace this Rudraksha Mala with anything else. Your normal chain, gold, silver, copper, iron, or your ID card strap, or your headphone wires, anything. You can do the same trick with what he just showed. So there's no superpower, supernatural thing he has except for the sniffing power. So that's it for the video. Folks, we need to have scientific literacy here. Just ask the basic questions, go in search of answers. Don't let like this kind of scams and business people, marketing people who run their money earning campaigns and businesses. Don't let them fool you. And we need to grow a scientific temper in our society to be able to see through bullshit and crap, which is propagated by these people in the name of religion, yoga, and spirituality.